My name is Sebastian. I'm a 19-year-old chess candidate master, but I'm fully focused on making it to GM. At the end of the month, I'm traveling to play another open international tournament in the country of Costa Rica. In January, I have the National Chess Championships to see if I can qualify to the World Chess Olympiad for the second time, and in February, I'm planning to move to Europe to pursue my professional goals. But to make that happen, I really need to lock in. So in this video, I'm going to show you my new hyper-focused training routine I've designed for myself for this month, drilling into opening study, calculation, and a few other critical things I've implemented to bridge that gap towards the GM title. And hopefully, you can learn a few things as well. From the last few tournaments I've played, I identified a few very key weaknesses for me, that being openings and calculation, and that's something you should do as well. So this training is all about tackling those issues. But before I tell you exactly what I do for my training, if you also want to make serious progress on your own chess, then you're welcome to check out my new school community. Inside, you're not just getting content, but you're getting a dedicated training environment. I'm going to host 2 live group lessons per week. The first one is already scheduled for this Thursday, the 11th of December. I'm releasing a new course every single month. The first one is already out, and it's about how to study openings by yourself. Plus, personal chat access to me at all times so that I can guide you and answer any chess improvement related questions. As well as a forum where you can discuss chess topics with other members to help each other out. If that sounds interesting to you, I've limited 30 spots at only $22 a month, which if you only count the lessons and not all of the other benefits, that would come out to under $3 per lesson. After the first 30 slots are filled, I'll raise the price to $37 a month to keep the community as exclusive as possible. So, go secure your spot now. With that being said, let's get back to the trading. As I mentioned previously, my main weaknesses have been tactics / calculation and making blunders, and since I have another series of mega important tournaments coming up, openings are also a top priority. This might be different for you, but for me, these are the lowest hanging fruits, therefore what I will spend most of my time on. Usually I train using chess tempo puzzles or some calculation book, but today I decided to do something a little bit different, and work on composition puzzles from this 1983 Soviet book I bought at the Olympiad last year for €2. Now this is a first position, relatively simple, but I thought it to be pretty cool. So the point and the benefit of these compositions is the fact that it forces us to use the process of elimination and look at so many different possibilities until we find the solution, because it's not always intuitive. And this helps us miss less moves during the game, moves that we won't automatically think about. So here we have to give checkmate in 2 to the black king, and what is going on. So I considered all the checks with the queen moved, nothing really seemed to work, and then checkmate. Then I thought and I came up with this move, rook to a2. And the point being that if king takes on f3, then we have rook to f1, that's a checkmate. And all of the other moves, if pawn to d3, then we take on e3 with mate, the king cannot move, and I thought, cool. The problem though is that after rook to a2, black has the move pawn to a3. And now we do not have any kind of checkmate in one move. But so then already keeping that information and having analyzed that move, I came up with rook to h2 with the exact same idea. And the point, what I discovered, is that black cannot take on f3 anyway, because then we have rook f2, and that would still be checkmate, because this pawn is being pinned by the rook that is on a3. And any other possible moves, again, the king cannot move anywhere. If this pawn moves, then we have checkmate on e3. And if pawn moves to e2, then we have bishop d2 with a checkmate as well. In case you want to give them a try, these are the puzzles I solved in today's session. Next up, it's time for the second non-negotiable daily activity, which is opening study. Now, unfortunately, because some of my opponents actually watch my videos, I can't tell you exactly what opening I'm studying, because it's something new that I'm going to be playing in my upcoming tournaments. However, I can show you what method I use to study. I usually always use ChessBase and mainly rely on the engine as well as on the database, which is right here, to be able to create my files and work on my files. Now the ones that I have are already done, but essentially the way it would work is if we want to study a specific line, we simply have to branch out from branch to branch depending on the position. Let's say we would want to work on the Italian and we want to work on this d3 move. Okay, then we have to look at all the possible moves for the opponent in the database, bishop e7, h6, etc, etc. Then I create a new file on each of the different openings that I'm studying, rely on the engine, on the database, and on many more important things to create my own ideas. And the exact way in which I do it, in a more detailed explanation, is available again on the course that I've just uploaded to the new school community. With those main tasks out of the way, I do also like to spend a lot of time on some miscellaneous activities like watching games, watching tournaments. Sometimes I even read magazines, something that I had here at the house. I also spend a lot of time doing Puzzle Rush, so a bunch of things that aren't so structured, but still generally helpful and most importantly enjoyable in my chess routine. So these are pretty much the main things that I do in a day of chess training. Of course, I could make the video much more flashy by showing you a million different things, studying endgames, working on strategy, all of that. But the truth is, as long as you focus on the most important priorities, your main weaknesses, and especially during a season of upcoming tournaments, if you just overwhelm yourself with everything, you're really gonna achieve nothing. So you need to know what to work on, and obviously, as with the miscellaneous activities I just showed you, it's also about enjoying what you're actually doing, and any chess-related activity that you actually enjoy is probably gonna be helpful. Main thing, of course, is understanding what you actually need to work on. You can do that by analyzing your own games, but if you want me to help you out with that, if you want a clear direction from someone who can look at them from an outside perspective, then once again, I'll plug my school community. You're more than welcome to join, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.